quest for immortality, Gilgamesh's journey, and the world of ancient Uruk. Introduction. The city of Uruk awakens. The city of Uruk stirs before dawn. The first rays of the Mesopotamian sun strike the mud brick walls, already radiating the promise of heat. The air is thick with the mingled scents of incense wafting from the temple precinct, the yeasty aroma of bread baking in communal ovens, and the earthy tang of dust rising from the streets. From the ziggurat's shadow, the rhythmic chants of priests echo, blending with the hammering of bronze smiths, the clatter of potters' wheels, and the lowing of cattle herded through narrow lanes. Gilgamesh, king and demigod, strides through this living tapestry, the weight of his bronze sword pressing against his shoulder, sweat beading beneath his linen tunic. The city is alive, a symphony of sound, scent, and sensation, a testament to human ambition and divine favor. The sensory world of ancient Mesopotamia, soundscapes. Uruk's mornings are a cacophony, the deep resonant chants of temple priests, the metallic ring of craftsmen shaping tools and weapons, the braying of donkeys and the calls of market vendors. Music, lyres, harps, and drums, drifts from feasting halls and temple courtyards, while the ever-present murmur of the Euphrates and the croak of frogs provide a natural counterpoint. Tactile and olfactory details. The city's bricks, sun-baked and rough, radiate heat that seeps into the soles of bare feet. The cool, smooth stone of the temple steps contrasts with the gritty sand of the streets. Gilgamesh feels the solid heft of bronze, his sword, his ceremonial axe, reminding him of his power and responsibility. The air is thick with the scent of burning incense, mingled with sweat, animal dung, and the sweet aroma of dates and fresh bread. Daily life in Uruk, occupations and social fabric. Occupations. Uruk is a city of specialists. Farmers tend irrigated fields beyond the walls, coaxing wheat and barley from the fertile floodplain. Weavers, mostly women, labor in workshops, their looms clacking as they produce fine woolen and linen textiles. Brewers and bakers fill the air with the smells of fermenting beer and baking bread. Potters shape clay into bowls and jars, while merchants haggle over copper, lapis lazuli, and timber brought from distant lands. Craftsmen, brickmakers, metalworkers, and carpenters build and maintain the city's monumental structures. Scribes, wielding reed styluses, inscribe contracts, laws, and hymns onto clay tablets, preserving the city's memory in cuneiform script, record-keeping, and law. Uruk's administration is a marvel of organization. Laws, contracts, and economic transactions are meticulously recorded in cuneiform, the world's first writing system. Scribes, educated in temple schools, document everything from land sales to marriage agreements, ensuring order and continuity. These tablets, stored in temple archives, are the backbone of Uruk's legal and economic life. Women's roles. Women in Uruk occupy diverse roles. Many are weavers, brewers, or potters, working in large workshops or family businesses. Some serve as priestesses, wielding spiritual and sometimes political power. Enkidu, the high priestess of the moon god, is a celebrated example. Women can own property, initiate divorce, and act as witnesses in court, especially in the earlier Sumerian periods. In the home, women manage households, raise children, and oversee domestic rituals, anchoring family and community life. The historical Uruk expansion and monumentality. The Uruk expansion. During the Uruk expansion, circa 4100–3100 BCE, the city becomes the world's first true metropolis. Its population swells to as many as 80,000, and its influence radiates across Mesopotamia and beyond. Trade networks stretch to Anatolia, Iran, and the Persian Gulf, bringing exotic goods and new ideas. Architectural achievements. Uruk's skyline is dominated by monumental works. The Anu Ziggurat, a massive stepped platform crowned by the White Temple, rises above the city, a visible link between earth and sky. The Inanna precinct, dedicated to the goddess Inanna, is a maze of temples, courtyards, and storerooms. The city's walls, said to be built by Gilgamesh himself, encircle Uruk, a symbol of both protection and the ambition of its people. Urban life and innovation. Uruk is a city of firsts, the first mass-produced pottery, the first writing, the first monumental architecture. Its streets are crowded, its markets bustling, its temples alive with ritual and administration. The city's organization, complexity, and scale are unmatched, earning it the title of the New York of its age, a hub of innovation, culture, and cosmopolitan life. Gilgamesh's quest. The journey begins. The catalyst, Enkidu's death. The epic's turning point is the death of Enkidu, Gilgamesh's companion and equal. Stricken by grief and the terror of his own mortality, Gilgamesh abandons his royal duties and sets out into the wilderness, seeking the secret of eternal life through deserts and mountains. Gilgamesh's journey is both physical and existential. He crosses barren deserts, the heat and dust mirroring his inner desolation. He climbs the twin peaks of Mashu, guarded by scorpion men, and passes through a tunnel of utter darkness, a symbolic descent into the unknown, a confrontation with the limits of human existence. The Garden of the Gods. Emerging from darkness, Gilgamesh finds himself in a fantastical garden where trees bear precious stones. This liminal space, neither fully mortal nor divine, offers a brief respite and a glimpse of the unattainable encounters at the edge of the world. Siduri, the alewife. At the edge of the world, Gilgamesh meets Siduri, the wise tavern keeper. She bars her door against the wild, desperate king, but eventually offers him hospitality and counsel. Siduri urges Gilgamesh to abandon his quest for immortality and instead embrace the joys of mortal life, love, family, good food, and simple pleasures. Her advice is a poignant reminder of the value of the present and the acceptance of human limits. Urshanabi the ferryman. Determined to continue, Gilgamesh seeks Urshanabi, the ferryman who alone can cross the waters of death. After a test of strength and will, Urshanabi agrees to help, instructing Gilgamesh to cut punting poles for the perilous journey. Together, they cross the deadly waters, a symbolic passage between life and death, the known and the unknown, Utnapishtim, and the Great Flood, the Mesopotamian Noah. On the far shore, Gilgamesh meets Utnapishtim, the only mortal granted eternal life by the gods. Utnapishtim recounts the story of the Great Flood. The gods, angered by human clamor, decide to destroy humanity. The god Ea, Enki, warns Utnapishtim, who builds a boat and saves his family and the animals. After the flood, Utnapishtim offers a sacrifice, and the gods, appeased, grant him and his wife immortality, parallels and symbolism. The flood story is a foundational myth, echoed in the biblical tale of Noah and in flood legends across the ancient world. Its motifs, divine retribution, human survival, cosmic renewal, speak to universal anxieties about mortality, justice, and the fragility of existence. The test in the plant of youth Utnapishtim challenges Gilgamesh to stay awake for 6 days and 7 nights, a test of human limitation, which Gilgamesh fails. As consolation, Utnapishtim reveals a plant that can restore youth. Gilgamesh retrieves it, but a serpent steals it while he bathes, underscoring the futility of seeking to escape death. Return and realization, the walls of Uruk. Acceptance and legacy. Gilgamesh returns to Uruk, chastened and wiser. He surveys the city's mighty walls, realizing that true immortality lies not in endless life, but in the enduring legacy of one's deeds and creations. The walls, massive, enduring, yet ultimately vulnerable, become a metaphor for the human condition. Safety versus isolation, permanence versus fragility. Symbolic analysis. The epic symbols are rich and layered. The walls of Uruk represent both the achievements and the limitations of civilization. The snake, which steals the plant of youth, embodies the cycle of life and death. The journey itself, through deserts, mountains, and waters, is a metaphor for the human search for meaning in the face of mortality. Kingship, mortality, and the divine, the king, as mediator. In Mesopotamian belief, the king is the chief servant of the gods, responsible for maintaining order, justice, and the favor of the divine. Kingship is both a sacred duty and a political role, with the king acting as a mediator between the gods and the people. Monumental works like the Anu Ziggurat are both offerings to the gods and symbols of royal legitimacy. The inevitability of death. The Epic of Gilgamesh, and Mesopotamian religion more broadly, confront the inevitability of death. Immortality is reserved for the gods. Humans must accept their fate and seek meaning in the life they are given. The afterlife is a shadowy realm, the land of no return, where all share the same fate, regardless of their deeds. Uruk and the modern city, a parallel. Uruk, in its heyday, is the New York of its age, a bustling, innovative, cosmopolitan hub. Its streets teem with people from across the known world. Its markets overflow with goods and ideas. If Gilgamesh walked through Times Square today, he would recognize the energy, the ambition, the diversity, and the monumental scale. He would see, in the skyscrapers and subways, echoes of his own city's ziggurats and canals. The challenges, resource management, social inequality, the search for meaning, are as present now as they were then. Foreshadowing, the wild and the mortal. As Gilgamesh surveys his city, the wild beckons beyond the walls. The wilderness is both a threat and a promise, a place of transformation, where Enkidu, the wild man, awaits. The epic hints at the coming confrontation: civilization versus nature, friendship versus loneliness, mortality versus the dream of eternal life. Conclusion: the enduring quest. The quest for immortality is as old as civilization itself. Gilgamesh's journey, through deserts, mountains, and waters, through grief, wisdom, and acceptance, remains a powerful meditation on what it means to be human. The city of Uruk, with its walls, its ziggurats, its bustling life, stands as both a monument to human achievement and a reminder of our limits. In the end, it is not immortality that Gilgamesh finds, but meaning, in love, in legacy, and in the enduring story of his quest.